Listen, he can't fail to light up the Winter Gardens when he's in that mood.
6 seeds have gone. The record, as we found out earlier because we did some digging, is 7 back in 2017, and that includes Daryl Gurney, who got through as an unseeded player, knocking out one of those 7 seeds, reached the semi-finals that year, and we're going to see him against Gerwyn Price tonight, Nico. And Gerwyn, well, he's winning events all over the shop at the minute, plays championship events, World Series, European Tour. He says he's got a good feeling when he's on a double at the moment, Gezi.
Yeah, and usually that double is double top. But the thing is, he's really good on 10s, he's really good on double 12. I think when he's on form, he's the best double 12 hitter in the world. He's going to get chances tonight. The only way that Daryl Gurney beats the Iceman tonight is if something goes wrong for Price. Daryl's playing really well at the minute. He still hasn't won a singles title in the PDC since 2019, but the World Cup win with Josh Rock in the last month or two, it came at a great time for him to just jolt himself in the right direction. I think this is a good opponent for Price because Gurney will keep Price honest, and I think this is a really good opponent for Gurney because you know that the juices are going to be flowing. This is the kind of game that really gets myself and Mace very eager to watch and listen to it.
Yeah, the Achilles heel for Price is missing doubles, and once he starts a match and he misses early doubles, it just seems to just spill over to the rest of the match, and he'll go through that match, and you know, you can see him in turmoil. But when he gets going from the off and he starts pinning doubles first or second dart, he is a totally different player. And of late, he's been pinning his doubles, and he's looked likely every time. And what he's doing as well is he's finishing shots under the most severe of pressure. The 91 to win the World Series was remarkable. Went for treble 17 for tops, hit the single, hit double 17, step back, pins tops, and then 119 a week later. When he's on it, he's as likely as anybody in this tournament to win it.
Listen out for that. That's the second game tonight that Nico and Mark Wilson will be on. Gerwyn Price against Daryl Gurney. Chris Dobey's up first against Ricardo Pietreczko in just a few moments. With all the 4 games in mind, let's get the latest odds from our friends at William Hill.
In the zone on talkSPORT 2 with William Hill. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
And the head honcho Lee Phelps has joined us from William Hill. Lee, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. Looking forward to tonight. I'm basking in the glory of landing a 2-to-1 4-timer last night. I mean, who comes on the radio and puts the 4-timer up at 2-to-1? I mean, it won, but I mean, you can't crow about that too much, can you?
No, I don't suppose you can. But yeah, Macy's giving me that look saying, yeah, come on, thrill me, give me another.
Well, I did it, but it was just one game. A 2-to-1 nap, I napped it up.
It was Mason was right. I could sense it even through the radio that he was raising his eyebrows at me.
He was like ever so slightly. So let's go through the 4 matches tonight. Take us through the in order of what we got, starting with Doby Petreczko.
Yeah, interesting match this one. I mean, 1-4 Doby looks a little short. I understand why it's the price it is. 3-1 the outsider Petreczko. Look, you know, Doby's been in decent form during July. I think, like I say, he's a bit short, but I'm looking at minus 3.5 on the handicap at even money. You could even stretch out if you're being a little bit more brave at minus 4.5 on the handicap at 11-8. I think he'll win, and I think he'll win okay. Doby to win, and Doby over 7.5 1/80s has been boosted to 3-1. Over 7.5 1/80s is going some, to be fair, but yeah, that's the price boost that I'd look at. But yeah, I'm going to go minus 3.5 on the handicap for Doby at even money.
Okay, Price against Gurney is second up. World Cup winner against a former world champion. Give us what you've got there.
Yeah, 130 on is Gerwyn Price. He had a good win in the European Tour final against Gary Anderson, who had been in really good form up until that point. Daryl Gurney priced up at 5-2. I think Price is just too good for Gurney here. I think this is a good opportunity for the match treble. The win for Price, highest checkout and most 180s. It's 13-8, so it's not the greatest price, but I am going to double it up in a little bit in one of the other matches, which is the Ross Smith. I'm going out of time order here a bit, but Ross Smith versus Josh Rock. Josh Rock favourite here, 8-13, 13-10 Ross Smith. When you look at the head-to-heads between these two in recent times, Rock won 10-9 in the UK Open. Go back 12 months and it was Ross Smith who won this match 10-4. I think Rock is in better form now than Ross Smith is, and I'm tempted to go with the match treble here as well. In fact, we've boosted the match treble, so Price and Josh Rock to each win the match, highest checkout and most 180s in their match has been boosted as a double to 12-1, so that's decent. And of course we've got Michael van Gerwen versus Raymond van Barneveld. I mean, it's just a classic match, isn't it? In any format, at any point. MVG's 2-5 to win the match, 19-10 for Barney. You look back over the head-to-heads, and it's been MVG, of course, who's had the lion's share of the wins. Just 2 in the last 10 for Barney. One of those was in November 2018. Seems a million years ago, doesn't it? And the most recent one was in July 2023. So you have to go with Michael van Gerwen. We've boosted the match treble for him to win the match, highest checkout and most 180s, out to 3-1. I think that's fair enough. I think there are 3 matches with match trebles that you can have a go at here, and I wouldn't mind doubling up the MVG, the one with Barney, with Price, Gurney, whichever way you want to play it. I think there's a double to be had in those. I don't know what Mace thinks about that. I know
you've got Mace nodding his head here, Lee.
Yeah,
you've got Mace nodding his head.
I like all of that. I've gone for the match treble in the Price game. I've gone a little bit safer in the Doby Ricardo game. I've gone Doby most 180s and win match. It's short, but it's better odds than just backing Doby at 1-4. And Josh Rock, I just think you can afford to take him on if you put him in with one of those other match trebles at 8-13. I think that's a fabulous price.
Yeah.
All right, good
the
stuff.
single is nice, isn't it? If you're confident in that, yeah.
Lee, we've got to leave it there, but thank you so much for your time as always. Lee Phelps from William Hill. And get epic value all tournament with William Hill. It's 18+, and please gamble responsibly. 18+.
In the Zone on talkSPORT 2 with William Hill. 18+, gambleaware.org.
We should speak with Paul Nicholson and Chris Mason about the all-Dutch clash that comes third up tonight. I don't know what to expect from Van Gerwen, given that he's played 4 matches since effectively coming back from a break that he decided upon. He decided just to step back for a moment. You say he's been playing paddle tennis, Mason, getting himself fitter and whatnot.
He's lost a bit of weight, starting to look after himself a bit. He's trying to maybe just sort of reinvent himself and get a bit more energy on the hockey. Listen, if we were talking about any other player, you may have concerns with the lack of hockey time or match time or stage time. But for Michael, he's one of the most prolific winners ever in any sport, never mind darts, and he will handle the situation far better than Raymond van Barneveld will. And Raymond's game just seems in ribbons at the moment. All the numbers are going in the wrong direction for him. All the stats that you can sort of try and find any kind of positive from, you can't find them. And I was at the European Tour at the weekend, and his throw is just gone all, I think Nico picked up on it as well, it's just gone all a bit loopy, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's all a bit effortful instead of effortless, which is exactly what he was doing when he was winning 3 of these. But if I'm going to talk about Michael in a positive sense for tonight, I'm going to do that right now, because we talk about these big PDC majors where there's no such thing as an easy draw. That is true. There are such things as harder draws. But tonight, Michael van Gerwen is getting the right draw. Getting Raymond van Barneveld right now is the right game for him, because it's the kind of game that when he woke up this morning, he thought, right, I'm playing Raymond van Barneveld. This is the kind of game that I can really get my teeth into. And you'll want to play his brand of darts. He's not going to be treading on eggshells. He's going to be going for the throat tonight, because he does not want to go home having lost to Raymond. He's got a great head-to-head record against him, like Lee Phelps just said, from our friends at William Hill. And I just get the feeling tonight this is the right time for Michael to test himself against a Raymond who does have his own fragilities.
Yeah, there's not a great deal of love lost between the two, and if Michael needed any kind of motivation, Nico's right. This was the perfect draw for him, because listen, Michael doesn't like losing, full stop. But if you said to him there's one person you would hate to lose to, it would be Raymond van Barneveld, especially right now. Yes, there's flaws in the Michael throw, but as we've seen, he's sort of evolved, and he plays around the issues he has. And when he gets it right, he's still a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely. And with the throw, yes, the mechanics are very different, but the thing that we are paying attention to at the minute is how the dart is flying in the air. When Michael was playing his best stuff, probably around 2017, 2018, even though in 2018 he lost in the first round here to Jeffrey de Zwaan, another Dutchman, the dart was travelling with a great deal of ballistic integrity. It was going through the air, and there was not a lot of air interference. Now, it's really hard to describe on the radio, but now the dart is wavering in the air.
Well, this has to have something to do with what you, and especially you, Mace, have picked up on in terms of the way the dart sits in Michael's hand when he's addressing the hockey. It's pointing far more at an angle towards the floor.
To the floor now, instead of towards the ceiling. So where his hand would open naturally, as it just naturally would upon release point, he's having to open his hand, and sometimes he just can't open the hand quick enough. And
he's engaging the right shoulder a lot more, pushing that upwards. It's not necessarily his fault, because it's got to do with his anatomy breaking down a little bit. You shake hands with him, it's very, very loose in the wrist department.
But he's had a couple of ups on his wrists. I mean, through all of that, he's still the 13th best player this year statistically, where Barneveld's way down into the 40s.
Nico, thanks for the time being. Paul Nicholson's going to be back with us alongside Mark Wilson to bring you the second commentary of the night, which will be Gerwyn Price against Daryl Gurney, Wales against Northern Ireland. But now it's England against Germany to kick us off for the first of these round one matches that will complete the second round draw by the time we're done at the end of tonight on talkSPORT 2. The boos, somewhat playful, begin already for Pikachu, Ricardo Pietreczko.
Well, I can't wait for the ones that if he gets absolute pelters, it's terrible, he shouldn't be getting that much abuse. But just go to Germany for a Euro tour and see what the English lads have to put up with.
That's a very good point, well made. Went out in round one last year on his debut, Ricardo Pietreczko, but it can be one of those classic things where you can say, well, I did lose to the winner, because it was Luke Humphreys that knocked him out in round one here in Blackpool a year ago.
Proper player, Ricardo. Proper player, and still getting better.
Yeah, very slight young man. Snapped like a twig in a breeze. But he's taken the acclaim and the support, so he's getting people a bit more onside. Now he's on the stage and shaking hands with the officials, including our MC, John McDonald, who's about to welcome Hollywood to his walk onto the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen from England, the winner of the PDC title is a World Championship semi-finalist and the winner of the Masters. Time to meet Hollywood Chris Doby.
He's changed his walk-on music. He's finally decided that PJ and Duncan can be consigned to the incinerator.
Well, when he came out to this in Germany, the place absolutely erupted. There was like, I don't know how many thousands were in there, but the noise was incredible, and it went down a blast.
Well, they've been using it at Brentford Football Club for a while, and wow, yeah, what it gets down at the G-Tech is something else. And they're responding here at the Winter Gardens as well. Another sellout crowd of over 2,000 darts fans.
And lots of Chris Doby shirts about, I noticed as well.
That's true. When I parked up this afternoon, I could see there were a number of black and white shirts with yellow trim, and he's just making sure that everyone is singing along. And another guy in Chris Doby who can say, in terms of his best performance here, well, I lost to the winner as well, because he lost to Nathan Aspinall in the quarter-finals in 2023. That's as deep as Chris Doby has got at the World Matchplay, which you might see as slightly unusual, given that he's been in the Premier League this year. And it's rare that I would say that Chris Mason loves somebody from the northeast more than Paul Nicholson does, but the way Chris Doby throws a dart seems to send my colleague alongside me into raptures.
Yeah, it's near perfection. It's as close to it. You know, there's there's two players. Well, one of them, John Lowe. Happy birthday, Mr. John Lowe, and Chris Doby. If you look at it, everything's from the elbow. There's no break in the wrist until the release, and it's all straight down the middle. And I think that's. I think the Premier League this year, though it didn't maybe pan out as well as he would have hoped, but I just think he learnt so much about controlling his emotions, dealing with disappointment, battling, and just trying to get over the line. And I think he's a way better player, not fundamentally, but psychologically, for being in that Premier League this year.
It's very true, because sometimes the Premier League can chew you up and spit you out, and Bunty didn't have the greatest of times. And even though Doby didn't make the playoff night of the O2, he was certainly not downcast about the way he went about his business. He did have a nightly win during the course of the Premier League. And Doby has the darts, the number 6 seed here, and he gets us underway, but a troublous visit for Hollywood to get us going. Wearing his black and white shirt, Petreczko in red and black, with his different flights for each start, and they both start with a troublous visit.
Yeah, that wouldn't do my OCD any good, having different flights. Well, this is more like it, Doby. Very nearly a max. There'll be plenty of them in this one, I can assure you.
Yeah, there should be.
Oh, by the way, on the back of Lee from William Hill being on, I went MVG minus 2.5 at 5 to 6.
Okay.
I think he's going to win. I think he's going to win with a bit in the tank.
That's third up tonight on talkSPORT 2.
We'll be doing that one.
And we will be. And the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. Welcome if you're watching our live free watch-alongs. You can join the chat during the course of these matches.
Any questions or comments, keep it clean, keep it civil, keep it sensible. And myself, Dance, Nico and Mark Wilson will engage as Doby engages with the treble 20. I told you you wouldn't have to wait long, and I told you there'd be plenty of them.
Well, Petreczko wants 180, but he's not going to go for a max. He very sensibly lays up for tops, but Doby wants 57 to hold throw for the first leg of the match. 17 for tops. He just gets 17. It very nearly drifted into the single 3. One dart left at tops, and he finds it. So it's 1-0 to Chris Doby on talkSPORT 2.
Yeah, held it all together well there, because there was massive pressure from Ricardo. A great 140 to leave 40.
Well, they've not met very often. Just 3 times that Doby and Petreczko have shared the Yoki, as Doby looks for a second max and finds it. He's in the mood. He's in the mood for sure, is Hollywood.
Yeah, the last time they met, it was a convincing win, wasn't it? It wasn't. I think it was in April, and it was a 6-1 win for Doby in Players' Championships.
Oh, it was European Tour, that.
Sorry, European Tour, yeah.
But they've never met at a ranking major tournament like this, so different stage. 95 from Doby against the Petreczko throw, trying to. Well, he is at least half a dart ahead of the German after 6 darts apiece. 301 plays 226. Petreczko, who.
And this is what Doby will do so well, and that's just keep applying the pressure, especially on the Ricardo throw.
And another just sub-100 score there from Doby.
Yeah, you just got to try and just keep your opponent sort of not settled.
Well, Petreczko's not betraying any nerves up there, but Doby is down to a finish first, and he's going to have 6 darts from here at 136. Only a single 20, so it can't go on this visit. 96 left. Will stay on the 20s, looking to lead double 18, but it's treble 5 instead. So what can Petreczko do? Doby's left on a 2-dart potential clutch finish of 81. Petreczko coming down from 182, just hits a 60, so no real scoreboard pressure applied to the man from the northeast. 81 required, hits 19, hits treble 9. What does that leave him on? Let me say 19. That does leave him outside of a finish, so he hits single 3 to lead himself on double 16. Petreczko wants 122. This is just a hold throw.
Needs the ball.
And gets the ball. That's a big moment because Doby hit treble 9 when he was trying to leave an even number, ended up with 35, and that allowed Petreczko the opportunity to pounce, and pounce he did. It's 1-1.
Yeah, lovely finish. And there's an example. Doby shouldn't really have been even letting him have a go at that 122, because if you give this guy confidence, he will run with it. And the more you keep him in a game, the more he'll feel like he can win it.
And he's not backward in coming forward, Ricardo Pietreczko. He may give the impression of looking mild-mannered, but you might remember an altercation with Luke Littler not long after Luke had burst onto the scene, getting to the World Finals nearly 2 years ago now, where he took exception to Luke's on-stage demeanour and let him know about it.
Certainly did. Didn't make him particularly popular for a while, though.
No. So,
but he's had a couple of run-ins as Ricardo.
Oh, right.
It's not a new thing.
So, leg number 3. It's a race to 10. But if we do get to 9 all, then you can't win 10-9. You do have to win by 2 clear legs once you get to that point. And if it stays level at 12 apiece and nobody's 2 legs ahead at any point between 9-9 and 12-12, then we have a sudden death leg.
136.
Lovely setup from Doby. Tops after 12. Petreczko back on 259 minus these. 76 scored, 183. Yeah, think about it. Stay there. Oh dear.
Does Pierce treble 3 next door.
Doesn't leave a finish. Needed the single 19 minimum, really. Doesn't find tops. Doesn't find double 10. Double 5 looking across. Is he going to bust or 2? Well, he chose to bust. I personally would have gone 2 to leave double 4 and double 2 and double 1 if needed. I don't think he's the greatest fan of tops, but well, he's had a bit of practice at it already.
Steady turn from Petreczko means he's down at 74, so let's see what Doby's like second time around at the top of the shop.
Better marker. Another one, both on the wire. Oh, and a horrible deflection into the 5. Well, this is another side of his game, which, when it does go wrong, it's very much like Price's. It's infectious, and it's missing doubles.
Can Petreczko take advantage? He hits treble 14 for double 16 to break on the wire himself. 1 dart left in hand, finds double 16, and the German leads with a break by 2 legs to 1, and he was handed that leg on a silver platter.
He certainly was.
So Petreczko starts leg number 4 on talkSPORT 2, looking to consolidate that break, but just 45 scored, as you heard, called by Hugh Ware, our referee. Andrew Davis and Scott Gibbling doing the scoring up there. Doby coming down to the 19s and hitting another just sub 100 score. He's hit a few of those in these early stages. The average is not much to write home about at the moment, but we are still feeling our way into this first round tie.
Yeah, they both looked a little edgy in the opening leg. You would have thought they'd be at the stage now where they're settled into it, and then of course we get a break after 5 and they've got to start all over again.
Doby in at the Yoki and hits a nice 140. That's a better visit from Hollywood.
First 140 of the match. We're in leg 4.
I've already hit 2 180s. What have you got on the chat there, Mace?
Can the team try and explain why Doby is so flaky on the doubles? Well, I don't say flaky. It's one of those things. The game's hard. Just some players make it look a little bit easier than others. When his doubling percentage for the year to date, I don't think it's particularly horrible, but
no, he's only hit 1 out of 8 tonight, but we are, as I say,
happens.
early doors.
That happens.
Petreczko looking better so far in the outer ring. He's 67% hit, 2 out of 3. Only 40 scored from the German there on throw. So Dobey's got a chance to break back here.
Yeah, he's 39.08% over the course of 12 months.
And we talk about it so often here on Darts on the Radio, that if you've got a checkout percentage of 40% or above, you are a happy camper with that.
Yeah.
You obviously want more, but you know that's kind of an average.
It's the law of averages. It's like I say, you're going to miss. Dart players miss more than they hit. It's a fact, otherwise they'd be going out in 9 darts every time.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
Be pretty boring.
You would. Be one hell of a tournament though, wouldn't it?
Well, whoever wins the ball.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, 1-2-8 for Doby to break back here. Needs treble 20 for the bull. Oh, hits single 5. So where does he go next? Went for the bull anyway and hit single 7 to leave himself only on 98, but that is a 2-dart kill if Petreczko can't take out 156, and that won't go with a single 20 to start.
Someone wants to know where they can watch it live. Well, it depends on what country you're in, but it is all subscription, I do believe. So whether it be Sky Sports or just stick with us on here or on talkSPORT,
because it
it's
doesn't
free.
cost you a penny, and it doesn't cost you a penny to like and subscribe to the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel, and we will spoil you with content.
Yes, we're desperately trying to get to our next milestone of 15,000. So if you aren't subscribed, please hit that button for us. Lots and lots of content as well that goes onto our YouTube channel, which is exclusive to our YouTube channel.
Here comes Doby for tops to try and break. He's underneath, so double 10 is the next port of call. He's got that. That's more like it from Hollywood. And that's 2 breaks to throw in a row to keep it at 2-2. Who gets their nose in front at the first mid-session break, which is coming up after this leg? 10 minutes played on that stage, 2-2. Doby with the darts in this 5th leg, but still not looking entirely comfortable up there.
Yeah, neither of them are. Both averaging in the mid-80s. The finishing from Doby has, of course, been a problem thus far in this match. Just 20%, 2 from 10.
It's a bit wayward looking for the 19s. It nearly hit treble 7. Single 7 in the end. So it's a bit scrappy. I used that phrase muck and nettles yesterday that May seemed to love so much. It's a phrase. He's busy looking at the chat. What you got?
Oh, not a lot there. I was just seeing if the doubles. The main stat you got about with Chris Doby is his world ranking position, number 6.
Yeah.
So he's going in the right direction. You can pick holes in pretty much every player's game, but the most important thing to think about is, are they going upward in the rankings? And Doby has done that this year and last year.
Petreczko too. He's on his way up the rankings in recent times, and a 140, he's happy with that, and he snatches the darts out the board a little angrily, but just trying to motivate himself really. Doby matches it with a 140 of his own.
But it's Doby's throw, and he's 24 behind Ricardo here, who finds the treble 20, follows it. He won't stay there. He picks off the treble 18 to leave double 8.
This is more like it from Pikachu, and Doby trying to respond, goes downstairs and picks off 419, so he's got himself down to a finish, but Petreczko can lead at the first break with a break, double 8 on the wire inside, so he goes across to double 4 and he wires it, so there is a chance, however slim, for Chris Doby to lead at the break, but he needs 133, Mace.
Yeah, this is a big one. 2 trebles in the combination. Tries to start on the treble 19, misses it by some distance. Treble 18's the shot with dart 3, finds it to leave tops. But it is Ricardo to go in the break with a 3-2 lead against the darts.
Up he steps, he's well inside double 4, so down to double 2. Oh, he's pinned that. And Ricardo Pietreczko points to his chest, looks at his VIP guests just to our right-hand side as if to say, yeah, this is my place, I belong here. He lost to the eventual winner last year, but he is really, really chuntering away to himself as he stalks off the stage, leaving Chris Doby alone up there to practice. Practice makes perfect. Well, certainly not perfection from the number 6 seed so far. He trails with a break to Ricardo Pietreczko by 3 legs to 2 here on your home of darts on the radio, talkSPORT 2.
Where can you get the latest breaking sports news delivered with the laser-like accuracy of Michael Van Gerwen? And the passionate opinions debated with the confident dexterity of Virgil van Dijk.
Has broken the Doby throw to achieve that scoreline, and he has taken out a 1-2-2 finish, the German.
Highlight of the game so far.
Oh, without question, because they both struggle. The averages tell a story. 83.65 Doby, only a little more for Petreczko. 84.59 for their 3-dart averages. Things can and will get better.
Yeah, they just both seem very, very edgy, and this is as nervous as I've seen. Well, I can remember seeing Chris Doby, and the problem is when you have listen, he's a 6th seed, so that comes with a bit of added pressure. He's well fancied to get the better of Ricardo, and not just get the better of him, but possibly have a deep run. And when you are playing well, sometimes the nerves are there because you're anxious about how well you're going to play, and sometimes that can just all go a little bit Pete Tong.
Well, it's significant that Doby stayed on the stage right the way through that comfort break when the players normally just disappear down to the holding area where they can't talk to anybody or get coached by anybody, but they could go and have a little throw of a dart backstage at the practice board. But Doby, having stayed up there, starts leg 6 with a maximum, as if to prove the point. That's why I stayed up there, to get my eye in.
Yeah, maybe, listen, some players, and you're well within your rights to do that, stay on stage. And listen, if you've had the 5 legs that Doby's had, he would have wanted to stay on stage just to try and find out what was I doing wrong. Was I trying to be too deliberate? Was I getting to the end of my throw? And you can do that in that environment.
So Petreczko has the darts in leg 6.
100.
Once again looking to consolidate a break. He had one early, but Doby broke straight back for 2-2 earlier in the piece.
48.
Still to come tonight, Gerwyn Price against Daryl Gurney. Michael van Gerwen, the 3-time champion, against Raymond van Barneveld, and Ross Smith against Josh Rock to round things off.
Yeah, I've just asked on the chat, when does Luke Littler play again? He looks likely to be first on Wednesday night.
And he will be playing Jermaine Watamina, one of the Dutch players who've made it through, and we're guaranteed another Dutchman through, obviously, with Barney against MVG to come.
Yeah, the winner of this match will play the winner of Price v Gurney, and then the winner of MVG and Raymond van Barneveld will play the winner of Ross Smith and Josh Rock.
74 for Doby to break back. Treble 14 hit, double 16. Oh, he's well outside, and he's covered a lot of the bed there, and he's gone too far inside, allowing Petreczko a chance to hold, but he needs 102 here.
2 from 12 now. Well, he can't finish the 102. He's hit a big 3. And another.
Oh dear, oh dear. A toothy grin from Petreczko, but it belies an annoyance within him, I'm sure, that he's barely dented that scoreline, giving Doby 3 darts at double 8. He only needs 1. And as he did before, having been broken, he breaks straight back, 3 apiece.
Yeah, 4 breaks on the spin after 2 holds. And we have a level game. Can Chris get some kind of control in this match? His opponent's only averaging 82, and, well, quite frankly, a player of Doby's class should be absolutely steamrolling his opponent here.
More live rugby tomorrow morning on talkSPORT 2. The Lions take on the First Nations and Pacifica 15. Our coverage starts at 10 AM tomorrow morning. And you've got a choice of listening tomorrow night. The second round begins here at the World Matchplay on talkSPORT 2, 7 PM. Or you've got England against Italy over on talkSPORT in the Women's Euros semi-final with Adrian Durham.
Sport for choice.
You are sport.
Or get the app and flick.
And after a weekend where we brought you boxing, golf, darts, rugby union, all manner of just a sensational sporting weekend, just shows you the power that the talkSPORT network now has in live sport.
Yeah, the app is a must-have for any sports fan.
Definitely. Now into leg 7. Chris Dobey of Bedlington in the northeast of England lives just down the road from Callan Ridds, a player who was kind of on the fringes of getting involved in the match play. He's played in the match play before, Ridds, but he's not here this year, not accrued enough on the Pro Tour to be part of it.
Yeah, having a tough time of it at the moment is Cal.
But his mate from down the road, just on the back of a Premier League season, trying to get down to a finish to hold throw, because it's all about breaks of throw at the moment, and Petreczko has a chance to do it again from 104, treble 19 hit, 57 scored, so he looks for double 15. No, he wasn't looking for double 15.
No, he sure wasn't, because now he has 17 left.
What was he looking for?
Single 15 for double 16.
But he has left himself double 8.
It's another break of throw, isn't it?
It is, because Doby cannot take out 144 now. He's hit treble 18 to lay up 2 treble 18s in actual fact to leave him on double 8, but Pikachu gets first dibs. A few boos go up around, but wow, he concentrates, piles on the double 8, and well, that's a 5th break of throw in succession here at the Winter Gardens.
Yeah, and the frustration's gonna grow here for Doby. He's just got to try and find something, because at the moment, you know, we hoped in this sort of second session of this match that the numbers would climb. Well, they're pretty much staying where they are. That will help his cause, but even with the 140, it's still only an 85 average, 83 for Ricardo.
Petreczko yet to hit a maximum, but it doesn't really matter as he's got his nose in front. And if he can hold throw, he's guaranteed to be at least level at the second comfort break that we have when we get to leg 10.
He's found the treble 20 again. and fills it.
It's more like it from Doby.
Looking like a 6th consecutive breaker throw.
Boy, oh boy. Can Petreczko respond from 3-6-3? Certainly can. He's looking for his first max. Oh, he's just dropped short with his final dart. Now Doby will get down to a finish from 1-8-1. 80 scored, so 1-on-1 left. Went for the bull, hits 25, leaving himself 76 for another break. I don't think Petreczko throws those darts. Oh, he's had a Robin Hood. He's had dart 3 land in the stem of dart 2.
76 for Doby. Treble 20 found, 2 in hand, double 8. Double 8, 1 dart left. Finds it for a 12 dart leg. The best leg of the match by some distance.
And yet another break. So, will it be 5-5 or 6-4 after the next 2 legs on talkSPORT 2?
Well, that's encouraging for Doby in terms of actually trying to hold throw. He held throw in leg 1. Ricardo held in leg 2. Since then, all breaks of throw. But a 60 from Ricardo leaves him vulnerable in this leg. But yet again, and not for the first time, in fact it's the 10th time already, a trebleless visit for Doby.
Yeah, neither player is getting away from the other. 83 from Petreczko, so...
Well, he's 44 points in front here, Doby, plus these. He's on 3-1-4. But again, a low dart which blocks out the treble. No success on cover.
And yet another trebleless visit. So Petreczko, who's 102 points behind, less this visit.
Plenty of people getting involved in the pole dance.
What's the poll so far?
Well, who's going through, Doby or Petreczko?
Okay.
71% believe it will be Doby.
Okay, well, they've got faith in the man from the northeast of England. But his body language up there is one of tension and frustration.
Yeah, and rightly so. This has been... This is tough. The vast majority of players will tell you have nights and days like this, and it's how you manage them. Sometimes you just got to say, right, oh, this is the way it's going to be. I'm just going to find a way to win.
But it is a finish now for Chris Doby to hold throw. 122, he hits 25, 97 left, 57, leaves tops for a 1-2-2 check out. They've both got 1-2-2 checkouts. And finally we have a hold of throw, and that belongs to Chris Doby. 5-4 the score.
Crazy, isn't it? The opening leg was a good one from Doby, a 180 and a 15 darter. And then we had, well, 6 legs of absolute dross. And then he goes 12 with a 180 breaker throw, 15 with a 1-2-2 to hold. Answers on a postcard.
Both on 3-6-1. As Petreczko looking for his first max, still can't find it. Has to make do with another 140. He's got 10 of those compared to Doby's 4 140 plus scores. So he's winning that metric by quite some distance. And then Doby pops in a 140 of his own.
Great question here.
Go on.
What is more important in darts, a higher ceiling or consistency? Would you rather average between 85 and 105 or 95 each game? 95 each game for me.
That's what does for people like Ratajski in this business. Van Dijvenbode is the great example of a range dart player who can average 20 points either way.
At least.
Now Petreczko was looking to try and set up 164.
He's left double 14. Doby, can he take out the 164 to back up the 122 in leg 9? Doesn't get the first treble 19.
The days of going for treble 20 at the start of a 164 checkout are largely gone. They're all going 619s.
Because of that little route there of incorporating the ball in the treble 20 to leave a 2-dart finish.
So for 5-5, double 14 required. Petreczko, 2 darts on the outside of the bed. 3 darts on the outside of the bed, and he closes his eyes and stands stock still on the oche in disbelief that he's missed that chance. So Doby to go 6-4 at 160, Mace.
Yeah, it could be a game changer, this. And he's having to move all the way right because the dart is a blocker.
He's missed now with the 2 darts he had. So Petreczko has got to open his eyes again and aim, because he's back on double 14 to bring us level at 5 apiece. Settles now. Again, almost in exactly the same place on the outside. And again, it's not going to be 6 missed darts at 14s. It is!
And none of them are more than, what, the thickness of a wire away.
Well, they keep handing one another the initiative here. Doby back on tops to go 6-4 up at the break. He wires the first of the 3 in hand, but gets the second, and it's nervy and it's tight and it's tense. But Chris Doby, having been 3-2 down at the first break, now finds himself 6-4 up at the second comfort break. And something tells me he won't stay on the stage this time. No, indeed, he goes off exit stage right, same as Petreczko. We play to a finish next on talkSPORT 2 and the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel in a race to 10. Chris Doby, the number 6 seed, leads Ricardo Pietreczko by 6 legs to 4.
Chase is the digital bank that could boost
We do like to be beside the seaside at this time of year, bringing you the PDC World Matchplay from the Winter Gardens in Blackpool. Ian Danter and Chris Mason with you in the commentary box in the Empress Ballroom, where Chris Doby, the number 6 seed, is labouring a little, but he is 6-4 up on Ricardo Pietreczko of Germany. They're just going through some practice darts. May I remind you that Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoist are reunited on talkSPORT Breakfast in the morning from 6 a.m. when you wake up, and Sam Matterface is sitting in for Jim White, who'll be alongside Simon Jordan at 10 a.m. But don't forget the rugby, where it's the Lions taking on that First Nations and Pacifica 15 as a warm-up for the second test next weekend. That coverage gets underway on talkSPORT 2 with Andrew McKenna in the team from 10 a.m. as part of our exclusive coverage of the British and Irish Lions tour to Australia. Coming next tonight, Gerwyn Price against Daryl Gurney, Michael van Gerwen against Raymond van Barneveld, and Ross Smith against Josh Rock. All live and free on talkSPORT 2 and the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. And that second session, Chris Mason, was a little better than the first quality-wise.
Yes, it was. It was a 16 dart break throw in leg 6 for Doby. Ricardo replied identically, 16 dart breaker throw, and then we had a max in leg 8 from Doby and a 12 dart breaker throw, followed up by a 15 dart hold with that beautiful 1-2-2 checkout, which matched the 1-2-2 that Ricardo took out himself in leg 2.
Hello to George Templeton, listening to us in Sarasota, Florida. He's
very nice.
messaged me on X saying, darts on the radio on talkSPORT 2 will make my afternoons at work fly by.
Yeah, the amount of people that I speak to that say they have it on in work, so you know, if they work shifts or lorry drivers, cab drivers, they all love it.
You're all equally welcome wherever and however you're listening to us, as Doby, who is bossing the 180 chart, hits his 5th of the match. Petreczko yet to find a 180 himself. It's 6-4 in terms of legs. Doby then with that break, having the throw in this 11th leg, looking to consolidate, and that's something that neither player's really been able to do when they've broken throw up to this point.
The ones that always I enjoy hearing from around Christmas that are being dragged round the sails by the wife.
Yeah.
So they got their little ear pod in and listening to it via the app. Single 19 leaves 107. Ricardo back on 244, so it'd be single 18, which it is to leave double 16. Sensible play.
Yeah, there's no point going for the bullseye at that point, even though he'd laid up for that.
Well, here's a question from Jeff Austin. Do you have to have a walk-on song, or can you request that you would just like to walk on stage quietly?
Barry Hearn, your thoughts?
Yeah, Barry is here tonight. I'll just go and ask him for him, and I probably won't be able to repeat the response. If you did request no walk-on song, would you be considered a killjoy? Thank you. Yeah, being part of your contract that listen, you've got to be introduced with music as part and parcel of the entertainment of a day or a night at the darts. And
I think the interesting question is whether you choose your choice. Some
yeah,
players clearly do, but others don't.
Yeah, would you let the PDC team pick, as Doby with yet another 16 darter finds double 8. It's a hold of throw, and it's a 7-4 lead across this little spell from leg 8 onwards. He's averaging about a ton. His average has come up from 83 to nearly 90.
Still not where he would want it to be, but the doubling percentage is increasing as well. It was about 13% in the early stages. Now it's up at 29, which again is not where he would want that percentage to be.
Yeah, what I'm liking about Doby is he's taken his medicine here. He's accepted, right, I'm not going to go out there and produce a mind-bending average like Luke Littler did last night, but I've just got to get on with this, manage it as best I can, and just get through to next round, and things will be different.
Picks off 6-19s very nicely there. Chris Doby coming down to the bottom of the board. So Petreczko with the throw, but it's 7-4 to Doby, and a bit of daylight now starting to emerge between the Geordie and the German.
Is that a book?
Yeah, written by Julia Bradbury, the one who did the Gruffalo, maybe something like, I don't know. Julia Donaldson, that was her name, wasn't it? Yeah, the Geordie and the German. Sort of thing you'd hear on Jackanory.
Yes.
See, now I'm showing my age. What was your walk-on song, by the way?
The Ace of Spades.
Motorhead,
yeah.
Of course it was.
I had loads, actually. I tried loads of different things. But, yeah, that one sort of stuck in the end.
Nothing wrong with that choice.
No, it's a banger.
Now, Doby hits a treble 3. He's trying to come down from 191 to a finish. Petreczko 158 can go for this.
It's good pressure from Doby, because this is on the throw of Ricardo's. He wants 158. A lot more tricky than the 108, but he's found a treble 20. We'll need another. Doesn't follow.
Nearly picks off the bull. 25 will do. So 108 for Doby to go 8-4 up.
We can still finish. That's a 7. So treble 17 and bull. Gets it. Needs the ball.
Oh, just to the west of it in the 25.
Weight of dart was okay, but lost the line. So 17 or a 13? 17 it is for double 18.
Nicely done from Ricardo Pietreczko. A little clutch finish of 53 to get back within 2 of Doby and hold throw on talkSPORT 2. Now there's a poll on the first to 10 who would win, Chris Mason or Paul Nicholson, and the shy retiring Chris Mason is not mentioning the fact that he's 64%, Nico's 35% at this point. Don't shrug your shoulders at me. Nico's probably looking at that as well. Wait a minute.
I want a major.
Hang about. I want Players' Championship.
Right, all Doby's got to do here, Dance, is just see this one out with 3 holds to throw and just get it done.
By the way, I take it that's Harry Durham back at base being all
It
mischievous,
is.
putting these polls together, just to wind you two up. Chris Doby looking for treble 19. Looking for 6 of them, gets 4 in the end, down to 178 in leg number 13. Remember, no more breaks at this point. We play through to a finish from 5 all to whatever it takes to get a player to 10 legs and 2 legs clear, or if we have to go to dreaded sudden death.
Doby just wants to hold. Picks off 2 treble 18s for 128 to leave 50. Ricardo back on 220. So it's in Doby's hands here for an 8-5 lead and to go within 2.
And his average has now, Chris, crept up over 90. Chris Doby for the first time in this match. 18 for double 16. Just on the outside of double 16. It stays there, so Petreczko, 160 required. Staying in one section of the board, it's doable.
Yep. Not now. Single 20 found, yeah. The finishing from Doby's had an absolute horror. 7 from 27. He says 20 darts at a double.
But the tone was set early on.
Yep.
With that. But that's better. Much better from Hollywood. Pins that double 16 as though the previous 2 weren't an issue.
Yeah, he's needing that extra turn when you sort of look. There's a 20 darter, so he missed for an 18 to need another 2. There's a 16 darter where it could have been 14 or 15. There's a 17 that could have been a 15. A 16 in leg 11 that could have been a 14. And that 16 there, which could have been... Well, he left 50 after 12, could have been a 14 again. So that's what's damaging the average, isn't it, of course.
8-5 the score on talkSPORT 2. Therefore, Chris Doby only needs a couple of legs to advance to the next round, where the winner of this would face the winner of the next match on stage. Gerwyn Price against Daryl Gurney. Paul Nicholson and Mark Wilson will bring you that one. And that may be happening a little sooner than we suspect, because it's now Doby starting to stretch his legs, picking up another maximum, his 6th of the game. Petreczko yet to hit a 180 of his own. And now the German, well, he won't want to go the same way as his compatriot Schindler.
Good question from Tossi. He says, am I able to sort of break down my own game? Well, I don't play anymore anyway. I knocked that on the head last year.
Still playing the pub?
Yeah, still playing the pub, and you know, play around with the lads and have little knockouts and stuff like that. Yeah, I can. It's very difficult on the fly to do it, but if I sort of feel something creeping into my game, I'm able to. I mean, we got the technology with phones. Just film it. Oh, hang on a minute. 164 for Doby, not going for it with Ricardo back on 217. 80 scored, 84 left. Yeah, so I'll just put my phone on a tripod, film my throw from a few angles, and then you can basically see what you're doing. So I always recommend that as a bit of a tip.
Petreczko trying to come down from 217, and he's now piling in the trebleless visits. He's got almost twice as many trebleless visits as Doby, 26 to 14 visits in that metric. Treble 16 for Doby, leaves double 8. He's just inside. This is for 9-5. Double 4 wires it. So there is a chance for Petreczko, but again, it's a big outshot for the German, Chris.
Certainly is. 2 treble 20s. No, so Doby is going to be back.
46.
Okay, for a 9-5 lead, double 4 once again for Chris Doby. Again, why is it right on the outside? Good marker. Can he use it? Yes, he can. Pins it with a second dart, and Chris Doby is 1 leg away from the second round. And he hasn't realised it's his throw. In fact, Petreczko thought it was his throw and stepped forward, but Doby was reminded by Hugh Ware that he has the honour.
He's one. Remember when the ton machine Alan Glazier was amazing? He was called the ton machine Alan Glazier, and he said, well, now it's not nearly enough. It wasn't enough for Alan, bless his soul. He was a wonderful player, but didn't really win very much. He just used to reside up near Blackpool. He used to come every year. Always was lovely catching up with Alan.
Yeah, ton machine might get you some of the way in the PDC nowadays, but
well, if every leg you went 4 tons and 101 out, that's a 15 darter. You'd end up with an average pretty close to a seasonal number of Luke Littler at the moment.
Yeah. And remember, the 2 Lukes are riding high in the averages stakes. Only Josh Rock gets close to them. He's up tonight against Ross Smith in the final match of the night. Could this be the final leg of this opener? 140 from Chris Doby takes him down to a 161 finish. Petreczko trying to come down from 221 and 57 scored. It does lead him on 164, but for the match now, Mace.
Treble 20 not found. 141 left. Treble 19 not found. Tries to get at least a 25 and misses that. That was messy from Doby. He's down to 108. The 164 for Ricardo's not going to go. He's just gesturing himself about how far he's missed that. Does it with his second dart. 60 scored, and then goes back up for a treble, and it's a 1.
So again, Doby's in. This time for a 108 finish. Treble 19 hit. Single 19 leads double 16 for the match. And a ton plus checkout sees Chris Doby home and sends Ricardo Pietreczko back home to Germany. And once again, Petreczko fails at the round 1 stage. Last year he went out to the eventual champion. Chris Doby will be hoping that particular statistic stays true this year, but he struggled and laboured to that 10-5 win, but win he did.
Yeah, and that's priority number 1. Nearly a 91 average in the end. 6 180s in a 15-leg match. Isn't too far off the pace of Chris Doby, but the piece I liked about that match was the fact that he accepted it pretty early on. Right, this is the way it's going to be tonight. I'm just going to have to graft and grind this one out, and that's what he did, and Doby's through to round 2.
You'll hear from Chris Doby in the fullness of time, both here on talkSPORT 2 and with the interview that we'll put up on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel as well. But next up, for Darts on the radio and Darts on YouTube, it will be Gerwyn Price, one of the fancied players very much for this tournament, up against World Cup winner Daryl Gurney, and Mark Wilson and Paul Nicholson will take you through that match next here at the Winter Gardens in Blackpool.
Lions Uncaged on talkSPORT 2 with Tenor Men as the British and Irish Lions prepare to roar into action down under. Get ahead of the pack with a special show that takes you right inside the pride, featuring tough tackling analysis and expert opinion from a lineup of rugby legends, plus exclusive content on location from Australia.
Steps up right, foot in.
Get ready for a rugby ride